podcast. The world is scary and we're locked in our home, but now we have big microphones, so you can relax. That's the name of our podcast. Hello, welcome to Relax the Podcast. I'm Colleen Ballinger.
I'm Erik. How do you do that, Miranda? I was trying to do that Miranda smile. How do you do that?
Tilt your head to the left. Squint. I kind of just only squint my left side of my face, the face that's...
Okay, I'm now squinting the left side of my face.
And that's the side of the mouth that goes up too. Like this whole side, just like scrunch that whole side. The left side of your face gets really scrunched.
I don't know.
And that's Miranda face.
I don't know that I'm doing it.
Hello.
You're really good at it.
So I've heard. Maybe I should try to do Miranda for a living.
How'd you come up with that face?
Are you being serious? There's one question not allowed on this podcast, and it's how did you come up with Miranda Sings?
I didn't. I said, how'd you come up with that face?
You know, I saw a TikTok recently of red carpet. Some event happened recently that celebrities went to. I don't remember what it was. Some award show. And, which by the way, it's crazy to me how award shows used to be such a huge deal, and I feel like no one cares about them anymore.
Well, is it just that there's more award shows? It feels like there's one every
it's like the ones
day.
that like everyone talks about, like back when I was in high school and college, like the movie award, the MTV like music video awards or whatever, and like all those. I don't know.
It might still be for younger people. It's not for us.
I feel like they're not as big of a deal. But anyway, some award show on TikTok, I saw they asked like, "What's the worst question you get asked on the red carpet? What's the most annoying question you get asked?" And so many people were saying like, "Oh, what's your inspiration?" was like an annoying question to them. Or how did you come up with your name, like your rap name, or your...
How do they come up with those names?
You know, like and I was surprised because I was like, wait, but I don't know. I'm interested to know. And someone was like, you can Google it. I ask that question all the time. And they were so mad. And I was like, oh, you know what? Like
who
now I understand. It was a bunch of people. But I was like, now I understand, because the one question that like, it doesn't annoy me. It's just like,
you just get asked it a lot.
So many times is, how did you come up with Miranda Sings? I get that question. I've
every
answered that
meet
question
and greet, every
millions
interview.
of times I've answered that question. And I always do have the feeling of like, well, Google it. But I would never obviously say that. And I would, and I always like explain it as best I can, because, it's important to remember, like, they don't know. That's why they're asking. Because when I watched that TikTok, I was like, but like, I want to know.
Right. People love origin stories.
I was like, I want to know.
I love origin stories.
And I was like,
how did you become Batman?
Yeah,
like, I'm into
I was
it.
like,
Tell me how.
I get it. I get why people ask me that who don't know. They didn't Google me. They're not going to look it up when I've answered another time. They want me to answer it.
Yeah, you're right there.
And I was like, oh, that's why. I mean, I know why they ask it, but I don't know. I finally understand like from that perspective, because when I was watching the TikTok and seeing them all be like annoyed at like people asking those questions, I was like, oh, but now I want to know. I want you to tell me. Anyway, why did we ever talking about this?
I don't know. I asked you, how'd you come up with that face? And you thought I was asking about how'd you come up with Miranda Sings. I was just asking about the face.
I think it came from, I used to do a awkward fake smile on stage all the time. For my friends when they come see me in shows. Like, so I would like be in the background and be like just do this like fake squinty smile, when people like fake smile and they
to
squint
make your
their
friends
eyes.
Laugh in the audience.
Yeah. And I do fake. I actually talked about this the other day. The name Bethany in Hinge Back Off comes from like this character that I had created on stage that was like essentially Miranda before Miranda existed. People would come see me in theater and shows, and they'd be like, oh, do Beth. I'm coming tonight, do Beth. And so there was a girl character I created named Beth, who was like this awkward, smiling girl. Like, and my movements, my dance movements, my facial expressions were very Miranda. So
were you bored in the performance? You're like, it wasn't stressful enough to do this performance. You're like, I need something else to keep me going.
Well,
I'm bored.
No, it was like I knew no one was looking at me in those moments. Like I would never do it.
Like ensemble? Did you ever wear like a wrist brace? Be like, oh, tonight my character has a wrist brace. I'll just pretend I had an injury to the cast.
It wasn't like a fully developed character. It was just like something I did a couple times, because I would do it like hanging out with friends. We'd listen to musical theater and I would like act like, what if, I don't know. I have a dumb sense of humor that is not funny to most people.
Oh yeah. That's why you like are famous for being a comedian, is because no one gets your sense of humor.
But like I would do
so
like,
humble.
I would like do musical theater performances, but like as awkward as possible. Like,
yeah. And now you've made a career out of it.
Right. So that character was Beth. Anyway.
So was Miranda Sings almost Beth Sings?
No, because Miranda was very different. Miranda has morphed into more of a Beth vibe. Right. But when Miranda started, Miranda was not that awkward. It wasn't like as awkward as it is now. Miranda was like more like an obnoxious, cocky girl. Like when Miranda started, it was like, hey guys, it's me, Miranda. So today I'm going to sing a song. Like it was like obnoxious.
The voice, it changes through the years.
The smile and the awkward, dorky movements, like that was all from Beth, and that got put into Miranda. But Miranda in the beginning was just like a cocky girl who wasn't that good, but thought she was really good.
Yeah, if you watch like the original YouTube.
Right. What is this, a Miranda interview?
Was there ever any other like name choices? Was it always going to be Miranda Sings, or was there
any thought into that? Like, so like
no thought into the name?
Not really. Like I just was in a play at my school. You know this story, and the character that I was playing in this musical was named Miranda, and so I was just like, when I created Miranda, I was doing that show, and I was like, I'll just call her Miranda. I didn't think about it, because I didn't think anything was going to happen.
There you go, folks. See, someone listening is like, an origin story.
Well,
I love origins. They've heard, and now they heard it, and they're like, I'm glad I know that. She acts like people don't care, but I'm glad I know that.
Well,
welcome to Relax.
Who needs to relax for you this week?
If we seem like we're asleep, we are.
We had a long week.
Not a lot of people record podcasts when they're actually asleep.
I know, but we're doing it right.
I'm actually doing it on.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Fake. Was that fake?
That was real.
That was real?
That was real. Who needs to relax for you this week, Lovey?
For me, who needs to relax is if you're in a parking lot, what's the worst sentence you can imagine hearing from a stranger?
Like walking in a parking lot?
You're walking in a parking lot and a stranger says something to you. What's the worst thing they could possibly say? I'll tell you what it is for me.
Get out of
here. For me, it's, are you leaving? Are you leaving?
Oh, because they follow you slowly to your car and wait for you to back out.
Excuse me, you leaving?
Oh, it's horrible.
Well, I'm not just walking around this parking lot in the direction opposite the store.
When did this happen to you?
Well, I was with our son, and
which one? We have two.
I was with Flynn, and so I have a kid. So there's now kids in the equation.
That's what makes it horrible now, because it takes a very long time.
Yeah, we were in an area where I guess it's not super competitive. There's lots of street parking. There's public lots that are like free for the first 2 hours. Like I don't know why they aggressively wanted the spot that I had, but as someone. I don't know. I just like I have a child that I have to buckle into a car seat, and now I know that you're here behind me, and then your blinkers on, your blinkers going,
like
you're sitting there,
and
now there's people
parked
behind them waiting, and they can't go around them because there's no room to go around them. So there's a line of cars now stuck behind this person waiting for me, and I have to like rush and I was downtown, and I have to like buckle in our child and like. Then get myself situated, and like, what if I like, got to plug in my phone and get directions to the next place I'm going, or just anything. But instead, I'm focusing on just like is just peeling out so this person can park, because like I'm that socially anxious and like that much of a people pleaser that like I'm like, forget me. I need to get at now. It's like go. We can get in the car. You know what I mean? Quick, we have to buckle you in because this person wants this spot specifically, and they're willing to wait for it. But if it were me, I've never done this. I've never said this person to any person. I've never said to a stranger, "Hey, are you leaving?" Ever in my life. In fact, I would rather drive another mile and walk back than ask a person if they're leaving.
Yeah, me too. I don't think I've ever done it. I've followed someone kind of slowly, I think.
No, that's almost worse.
Not like blatantly. It was like just enough that they could be like, oh, is that person following me for my spot? But like not obviously, you know what I mean? Like I would never want to make someone feel pressured. If I see someone has kids, I won't do that because I know how long it takes to put a kid in a car.
Yeah, I feel like it's happened even when we've had the stroller with twins in it and our other son, and still people have been like, are you leaving? Like, and then it's like you're rushing, buckling the kids in. I'm like folding up this like double-decker stroller, you know what I mean? Trying to just ram it in the trunk so that they can have the spot.
Right.
It puts so much pressure on people. I just like, maybe there's a better way. Maybe just find another spot. I'm someone, I don't mind parking further away from the entrance of a place that I'm going. I think I'm okay with like the extra steps.
I like the closest you can get. That's
of course. Me. Like who doesn't like VIP parking? You know what I mean?
Like I get real excited when you get the best spot in the lot.
Yeah. I do that like thing where I say, oh, VIP.
Yeah, big time. Like that's the best.
Every time I have to say it out loud. If I get a good parking spot.
We're such parents that I go like, oh, best spot in the line. You're like, oh, VIP parking. Like we're so
that's like
cringy.
Literally what our conversation would be if we got a good parking spot. But what we would never do is say, are you leaving?
No, I don't think so. I think you're your angriest when I wake you up in the middle of the night and when you're driving in a car. You're very angry in a car. So like someone pressuring you while you're driving.
I don't have like road rage.
Lovey. You don't have road rage. Like you don't drive recklessly when you're upset. You're a very cautious, good driver. But you do get very mad when you're driving.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. Honestly, because I think where else in life are you just out amongst the people and you get to and people are driving machines and they're on display, like their skill of driving machines, this thing that we've all been licensed to do, you know? And some people are not that good at it.
But you get mad if someone
and don't follow rules.
But you get mad when they do. Like someone could put on their blinker and then go to the lane that you're in with their blinker on and be like, ah.
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
No, I appreciate a blinker. And if they're coming in front of me, I'm totally fine. Don't give me a courtesy wave. Like I might.
If you're driving in a parking lot and someone starts backing up their car in front of you, like you'll get mad.
Yeah. Well, where I'm alone and I can express my frustration.
You're never alone.
I think it's okay. I think it's okay to be
mad about it.
As long as you don't have like genuine road rage and you're doing things that are unsafe.
I've been in cars.
I certainly don't do that.
Yeah, no. I've been in cars with people who have genuine road rage where they get really mad and then they drive more recklessly, and that's so scary.
Yeah,
I think you're not like that at all.
No, I think what you meant to say, you're your most vocal in your frustration with your fellow man.
Maybe you get most irrationally angry when I wake you up and when you're driving.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe those are the...
Yeah, but never in a dangerous
No, never.
way.
It doesn't make you more dangerous.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. Because I was completely alone today and I was behind someone that was going like 24 in a 40 mile per hour zone. And I could tell they were just like looking around and I was like out loud to myself. I was just screaming like, what are you looking at?
Yeah, so mad.
You're driving so slow.
So mad. Oh man. Well, you know who isn't slow?
Who's that?
I'm so excited to talk about this.
What is it?
Base.
Oh yeah.
You guys, our first sponsor of the day. I'm so excited to talk about this because I have a very funny story that I think is going to be my relax today. But we'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
So
I have so much to talk about.
I know.
This.
So, guys, it can be hard to fit everything in, especially when it comes to luggage. With Base, there's room for everything, even if you're an overpacker. 15 pairs of underwear for a weekend trip? Not a problem. A couple extra pairs of pants? Bring it all with Base. Base was created by actress Shay Mitchell to make sleek and affordable bags, luggage, and accessories designed to help you travel effortlessly while still looking fashionable. Base has thought of everything you could ever want in a piece of luggage: 360-degree gliding wheels, a cushioned handle, built-in weight indicator, washable bags for your dirty clothes, and all the interior pockets you need to keep organized. Their luggage comes in multiple sizes and colors, and for shorter trips, the Weekender bag is super functional and even has a place to store your shoes separately. Every piece is made to look better with miles, so you don't have to worry about it in cargo or overhead. And Base has over 30,000 five-star reviews. Whether you're packing for a quick trip or looking to breeze through the security line, Base has your personal items covered. Guys, Erik and I, and now Corey, all have Base luggage. It is a game changer. I love it. It is my favorite luggage I've ever had. I mean that so genuinely. And I'm so excited to talk about this with Erik in 1 second. But it genuinely is such great luggage. It looks really nice. We've seen people like eyeballing us while we walk through airport. Like we were walking through the airport and I have like my matching Weekender bag with my luggage. And Erik was like, I literally just saw a woman like glare and stare at your luggage with jealousy. Like It's so cute. It looks so good. And it's so comfortable to carry with the like cushioned handle. It glides so smoothly. I love it so much. So genuinely, I think it's wonderful. And I bought mine before they told us they were going to sponsor us. So highly recommend. Right now, Base is offering our listeners 15% off your first purchase by visiting basetravel.com/relax. Go to basetravel.com/relax for 15% off your first purchase. That's BEIS travel.com/relax. Check it out. You guys, okay.
I can't believe you were talking about my new Rolly suitcase without me.
That sponsor, that ad read is over. But I'm not over it.
It changing my life is not over.
My relax for this week was going to be something else, but after reading that ad, it has to be this.
What?
My relax for this week is Erik Stockland prior to having a Base suitcase.
I'd agree with that, yeah.
Because Erik always had a duffel. Every time we traveled, he wanted a cool looking leather duffel bag, a big duffel bag that he carried on his freaking shoulder.
It just made sense. It's like a bigger than a backpack. It holds things and you hold it and you look cool and you walk through the airport and you put it in the overhead thing and then you take it off. You walk off the plane.
It's going to look good as it wears with age.
Walk to your
it's going to look so
taxi.
amazing. Other dudes would compliment him on his cool brown leather duffel. And it was like your thing.
Correct.
And I always was looking at Erik like, this guy is freaking crazy. Because when you walk through airports, that hurts. Like, this is one of the biggest reasons I don't have like purses. I don't like purses.
Yeah.
Straps on your shoulder, like super, it gets really heavy and it's obnoxious. And I'm like, he's carrying
it's heavy.
all his stuff.
Yeah.
In this duffel.
It's like swinging around back there if it's over your shoulder.
So
yeah.
dumb. And I was just like,
it's not practical.
No. And I always was
But I had never thought that a rolly carry-on was practical either, because like you got to carry the thing and we were rolling it around.
So
I never knew.
I always looked at him and I was like, you know what? I respect and love this man. And I respect and admire his passion for his leather bag. So I'm never going to say anything. I just let
even
him live
before
his
I got
life.
like the nice leather one, like I had just regular duffel bags. I just thought it's what you did.
No one else does that. Well, I mean, some people do it, but they're making their lives harder. So he finally, because of this sponsorship, has a Base suitcase.
Yes.
And we went to New Haven and Boston for my tour, and Erik came.
It was my first time using it. My first time ever traveling with a rolling carry-on case.
He was so funny that whole trip. He was just like,
lost my mind how great it was.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing. It just rolls.
Yeah.
This is crazy. It just rolls.
Look.
All
your stuff's in there and it's like you feel like you have nothing because you're just kind of holding onto the handle, just rolling it around.
I just am pulling it and it's just rolling beside me. And
I was acting it up. I was being silly. I was acting it up because you were like so embarrassed by me.
No, I loved it. I was like, yes, this is what I've been saying this entire time in my head. Every time you carry around a duffel,
but you never did. You never like, it'd be much easier.
I never shamed you for it. I was just like, all right. But he was going crazy about it and it made me laugh so hard. So who needs to relax is you prior to having Base luggage. This isn't even part of the sponsorship anymore, guys.
I feel like it's based on like childhood trauma that wasn't even like my trauma. There was a girl in elementary school, because this is back in the time where everyone had, I don't even know if you're going to know this, but LL Bean backpacks were like the thing. Like you had to have these big LL Bean backpacks that had like your initials embroidered in the back of it. And it was like this.
Everyone just had a JanSport.
Deep, giant, or JanSport, sure. Yeah, obviously those
and
are
I didn't
around.
Have those.
But like big, heavy, like you fit everything in there. They would go off your back like by 3 feet. But there was this one girl who had like a rolly backpack. And everybody bullied her for it.
Did you?
No, I didn't. I wasn't. But like people would like
kick it. You've told me.
Kick it like when she rolled down the hallway, and I just always saw. I mean, I felt so bad for her. I'm not saying I stood up for her, and I definitely should have. I just was witness to this, and then so when I see like rolly carry-on cases, I just associated it with like
you're gonna get bullied.
Yeah, I don't know. Or like, oh, look at that rolly guy. Right. Where's his duffel? Like, he's not cool, Right. But now, like, it's so practical.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
And I was just giddy. I was over the moon giddy with how wonderful it was, and I'll never travel another way ever. Duffel bags gone forever.
Gone forever.
What are they even for?
It's stupid.
Who invented the duffel? Like someone named John Duffel?
I don't know. I'm sure you'll look it up.
Where does the word duffel come from?
I had a thought that I was like dying to tell you, and I stopped myself because I didn't want to interrupt you.
I saw you because you physically.
I know, and I stopped myself. I was like, "Don't interrupt, Colleen." So I couldn't afford like fancy backpacks in high school. I never had a JanSport or whatever was expensive and fancy.
I mean, JanSport's not like
that was like a name brand expensive. Like I never had that. Never.
It's not that fancy. Yes, it was. Yeah. If you had a JanSport, you were rich. Would that be like
for
one of
me?
our,
I was, but but I didn't have that. But can I tell you the backpack that I just had the reason I went like, because I was like, what did I have? Because I know I didn't have a JanSport. And
it was a knockoff JanSport. It was called like East Pack.
It's better. It's better. And I'm so mad. I have to find it. I know I've got to have it somewhere. My grandma sewed me a backpack. And it was yellow, and it was so the flap that like came over like where the book bag part is, it was, she cross-stitched a cat and sunflowers. This is my high school backpack. High school.
And when you show up wearing this backpack, are you also wearing handmade cat and sunflower like dresses and stuff?
Maybe in my freshman year I did. Okay. But then I got, then I wanted not a duffel, but like a satchel style book bag. And she made that for me as well. And I remember it was like purple and brown corduroy or something like that. Like my backpacks and book bags were handmade, homemade.
You were that girl. Didn't you tell a story about just people just like chucking spitballs at you like constantly?
Well, no, that wasn't at school. That was at a pizza place. Oh. And it was random people. It wasn't like my schoolmates.
Why is that? I feel like that's more.
Well, my school people who I went to school with like didn't. No one talked. I didn't talk to anyone. No one even knew I was there. Like if someone reached out to me and was like, "We went to high school together," they did not know me in high school. Like,
didn't you say like you used to like during lunch you would go hide in a bush and eat lunch in like a bush by yourself?
In a bush. I ate behind a bush. I wasn't hiding. I was just like,
I literally thought in that moment I was making it up. Like I was like, what's the weirdest thing I could say? A bush.
I would eat lunch. It's true. I would eat lunch in the choir room, usually. Sometimes the theater, if they let me, but usually it wasn't allowed. It was like choir room. Or if I had to eat outside, I would eat, because sometimes the boys group would have rehearsals during lunch, the boys choir. So I couldn't eat lunch in there.
That's when it was bush time?
Sometimes the choir director would let me eat in her office.
You were that kid. They felt so bad for you.
I know my friend Christina, one of my best friends. I know sometimes she listens to this podcast, and if she's listening now, she's laughing so hard because she totally did too. She would eat in the choir room too. But anyway, there was a bush out like in front of the theater that like was kind of like a partition type bush between like the school and the street. And me and my friend would go and sit there because there weren't a lot of people there. And
on the street side?
Basically right on the sidewalk. Like a bush that separated like the school from the sidewalk. And we ate behind that bush. But you know what's funny?
What were you hiding from?
Just humans.
That's hiding.
Yeah, humans. Like I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to look at people. I don't want to be around people. Like you have to be around them all day, every day in class starting at like 8 a.m. Like, and I don't know. I don't want to be around. I don't know.
What would you be eating for lunch?
Whatever I brought from home. Or
did you never got hot lunch?
No, I didn't get hot lunch. What I would do is I would either eat lunch from home, or if I didn't bring lunch, I would ask everyone for change. So like I'd ask my friend, like, do you have a nickel? Do you have a dime? Do you have a quarter? Do you have any change? Like literal change. Because if you ask someone for $1, that's like a lot. And then you owe them. Then you have to pay them back. If you ask someone for $1, you got to pay them back $1, But if
it sounds like you were just begging for change on the street.
No, but to my friends, but yes. But
okay.
But if you ask everyone for like a quarter, a nickel, a dime, like they're not expecting you to pay them back. So if you ask every single person and everyone gives you like a nickel or a dime, like you eventually get $2.25, which is like how much I think actually back then it was like $1.75 or something like that to go to In-N-Out and get a cheeseburger. And so I would get In-N-Out cheeseburgers all the time just from like getting people's pennies and nickels. This blows my mind because
my high school, we were not allowed to leave. We weren't even allowed to go outside.
Or the other thing I would do is me and my friend would walk across the street to the grocery store and we'd buy a loaf of bread for $1.
You've told me
and
that.
we'd eat the loaf of bread because
like a baguette or like a loaf?
like a big thick baguette loaf.
Like a baguette loaf.
Yeah, because like
I know what
fresh
you're talking.
from the grocery store, like right after they bake them.
Yeah.
Oh my God, so good. So I'd do that.
And
so also
healthy.
they had cookies that they would sell on campus. I don't know if you had these cookies, but if you did, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. They were never cooked all the way, ever.
No,
and they were so good.
Cookies,
fresh baked cookies.
In your cafeteria?
No, like in like carts around the school. Like
what in the world are you talking about? There was just people walking around with carts.
Please,
of like
just
you know what I'm talking
gooey
about. Raw
I know
cookies.
Corey knows what I'm talking about because Corey and I were talking about it. They're so good. They were like 75 cents or something. And again, I would ask everyone on campus for like
was selling
a nickel.
Them?
The people who made the cookies. I don't freaking know.
Not like lunch. Ladies?
No, it was like, yeah, it was, but it was
Lunchmen?
like, but it wasn't in the cafeteria. It was like at these like carts, like outside. Because I was an outside school. Like it wasn't like, you know, like it wasn't.
I went to an inside school.
Right.
There was no carts with cookies.
So like, yeah, in the quad.
Just randomly like all around.
There was like these carts of like cookies.
What in the world are you describing?
All they had was cookies. And it was
I don't think you actually even went to high school. It sounds like you were just walking around.
Okay, so they'd give you these cookies
city.
in like, it was like a paper bag, like a thin paper, like little baggie. And they were never cooked. They were hot, but they were never, like it was hot dough, like cookie dough.
Uh-huh.
And they were I would pay so much money to eat one of those right now. They're so, like, I'm very tempted to go to my high school this week during like one of the breaks and see if they still have those cookies and like buy one because it sounds so, okay. So anyway,
so weird.
I'm getting off track.
Is this why you love cookies so much?
No, I love cookies so much because since I was a little girl, my mom and I would make cookies together and she always made me hot, fresh cookies. And it's like some of my favorite memories.
Whose are better, your mom's cookies or cart cookies?
My mom's.
Whoa, you had to think about it.
But the cart cookies are really good. Okay, wait, this is what I was going to say though. Okay, so to anyone who might have made fun of me for eating behind a bush in high school, what's so funny to me now is that right where I would eat lunch in high school because I didn't want to be around people and like, no, I didn't like really have a lot of friends and whatever, is where like right next to that is there's now a mural of my face on that theater, like right next to where I would like eat lunch. Granted, it's not a very good job.
Not very accurate.
It's not very good, but it's just funny to me that
it
like,
is you.
That's now my face is now on the wall right there.
You're a alumni of note.
I guess so.
That you've been memorialized on a wall at your high school.
I guess so.
Next to the bush you used to hide behind eating wet cookies.
Oh my God, they're so good. Okay, anyway, let's say thanks to our next sponsor before we move on. Oh, love you. You're going to love this one. You didn't get to talk about this one last week.
Oh,
but this week, it's all on you.
It's
DraftKings.
Me.
It's our next sponsor.
Football fans. I've been watching Hard Knocks because
Hard Knock Life from Annie?
No, it's on HBO because it's the Lions this year. They've never been on Hard Knocks before. Do you know what that is?
It's a hard knock life.
Yeah, it's just like Annie, except it's like kind of behind the scenes of preseason for a football team.
I don't even know what that means.
Anyway, the first Sunday of NFL season is here. And DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is giving new customers a can't-miss offer to celebrate the return of the NFL season. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $200 in free bets instantly.
Whoa.
Instantly is in all caps with an exclamation mark. There's a bug growing on your phone.
Ew, there really is.
It's going to make it distracting to read this. And as an added bonus for week one,
why is there a bug on my phone?
Everyone can experience the thrill of DraftKings early win promotion. It's simple. Bet on an NFL team to win. If your team leads by 10 at any point during the game, you get paid instantly, even if your team loses.
What?
I love football. I'm very excited for football to be back. And I'm sure that means that it's your favorite time of the year as well,
yes,
Colleen.
I love it.
Because I know how much you love Sundays at our house during football season because you
so
love
much.
Sports on television.
Yeah, I love it.
If there's anything Colleen Ballinger loves, it's sports on television. You get so into the games.
You get so into it.
And you know all the rules.
Mm-hmm.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code Colleen. Okay. To get $200
like that.
in free bets instantly when you place a $5 bet on this Sunday. That's code Colleen. I feel like I'm being left out here. It's so weird.
You can use my code.
I know I can use your code. I'm just, why is the code not Erik?
Because I'm the one who loves sports.
Or we're like, oh, it's because you're the big football fan.
I'm the football fan.
Okay, only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use that promo code Colleen, however you want to say it. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. Obviously, what's your favorite football team, Colleen?
The Dolphins. Is that a team?
What city are they from?
Probably like Miami or something like that.
Whoa!
Was that correct?
That was correct.
Oh my God, I told you I love football.
What's your hometown team?
The Dodgers.
They won the Super Bowl last year. Dodgers are a team, not the sport.
My LA Rams.
There you go.
Yes.
And your favorite Rams player is, of course,
Dave Ramsey.
Dave Ramsey. Wow. There is actually someone with the last name Ramsey on the Rams.
There is?
Yeah.
Is his name Dave?
Nope.
Oh, well, there you go.
DraftKings.
Anyway, check out DraftKings.
Code Colleen. Goodbye.
Okay, guys. So I really do strongly apologize if you've been watching me yawn, watching this episode or hearing me yawn, or if we seem a little more low energy. It's been, as most weeks are, a long week.
The podcast is called Relax. A lot of people say they fall asleep to it. So
yeah, people
they're
do
already
tell me
asleep.
that.
This is just me and you talking right now. I have been loving,
by the way, at my live shows, because I'm back on tour. I'm doing Anaheim.
When?
September 10th. Then I'm doing Atlanta, Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm.
I got a show in Phoenix or Mesa, Arizona area, San Diego, Seattle, and Portland. Those are my shows.
It's a great show.
Fresno. Anyway, I'm loving at the meet and greet. So many people talk about how they listen to Relax and
really,
they like, and they bring up stuff from the podcast. There is a girl who said that her and her boyfriend listened to Relax and they came and they said they call each other Lovey.
That's so sweet.
And they said, we've never met anyone else who does that. We only call each other Lovey.
Who did it first?
What do you mean?
Them or us? Who said it first?
They said that they were already doing it. And then
independently.
They found us and they started listening to our podcast and they were like, oh my God, they call each other Lovey. That's so crazy.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. I've met lots of awesome people who listen to the podcast, have funny things to say about the podcast. So like, thank you to everyone who comes to my shows, who listens to this. Awesome. And like, it makes me really happy.
Yeah, so, like instant feedback.
Yeah, I love it.
Real people.
So, and almost every meet and greet, someone says, who needs to relax today?
They ask me
that question.
That's so great.
Almost every meet and greet.
I love that.
Anyway, so
they put you on the spot and you have to think of something?
Yes, and I can never think of one.
Yeah.
But you guys, we're real tired because we usually are. But this week in particular was a crazy one. There's a little bit of a common cold running through our house. Mm-hmm. Now, I go to great lengths when I'm traveling on tour to social distance, wear a mask and all that. And I've done a somehow miraculous job at not getting sick at all on tour. However, this time I still didn't. I got sick when I got home from my kids.
Yeah.
Because we still, try to be as cautious and as safe as we can. Getting back into the real world is still like, we're still like,
they're kids. They catch colds at playgrounds.
So yeah, they go to playgrounds, they go to see family. That's pretty much it. And, they're going to somewhere along the line see someone interact with someone who gets
boogers.
sick.
They get everywhere. Anything you're touching something right now while you're listening to this, got kid boogers on it.
Yeah. So I got home from my most recent shows. Where was I most recently? In Texas. I was in Texas. I got home and I was so excited to see my kiddos. And then I noticed Wesley was acting a little suspicious. And I was like, something's up with this kiddo. And then the next day, sure enough, runny nose, very fussy. And I was like, I think he's got a cold. And he did. And then the next day, Maisie started getting a runny nose, pretty fussy, irritable. And I was like, no, we gave it to Maisie. Next day, Flynn, runny nose, a little whiny. It's going through. And then the next day, I got it. So Erik has avoided it somehow. I don't know how, but Erik's avoided this little cold. But because of this cold,
I exercise and I take vitamins and I don't eat Taco Bell and cookies every meal.
No one asked you to brag about anything. Sorry, I'm happy.
I wasn't even talking about you.
Cookies. No. So listen, this is the thing, though, guys.
Sorry, I'm happy.
No, because I eat cookies is what I'm saying.
No, fair enough. Fair play.
So we had a crazy week because of this cold. Now, because I have to start off the story. I'm telling you this story because there's a funny part of this story, but it was actually it was a scary week. Everyone is totally fine. It's totally just a cold and we're all almost out of it. But it did get a little scary for a second because we have twins who have weak little lungs. They're little babies, and it's scary when babies get sick. And so even though it's just a little cold, they did end up needing hospital visits, and they're totally fine. Everything's good. We were definitely erring on the side of caution. Everything is fine. But I'm telling you that because I want to tell you this funny story. So the reason we ended up at the hospital the first time is because both the babies had this cold, and Wesley started to kind of like wheeze a little bit. His breathing sounded a little labored, and I'm not messing around with that. Eric's not messing around with that. We're like, let's go to an urgent care and just double check, make sure everything's okay, get a COVID test, like a PCR, like fancy, good COVID test, and make sure everything's good. So we go to the urgent care, COVID test, negative, they're checking them, and they're listening to their lungs, checking their oxygen, whatever. And they listen to Wesley's lungs. And the doctor at this urgent care, now looking back at the experience, would you not say he was the most dramatic doctor you've ever?
I don't know that I'd call him dramatic or like an alarmist, but I became alarmed. I think what else do you do when you have like 9-month-old babies that were very premature, and so like there could be issues there, like especially when it comes to the development of the lungs, and if they're err on the side of caution always. Of course. I think that was what I was doing, but he did kind of like the reveal and the way he spoke to us that it was I became I wasn't put at ease. I didn't feel like I became very stressed by him.
I appreciated him. I think he was lovely. And I always appreciate anyone who's going to err on the side of caution with my children. So like very much prefer that, I guess, over someone who's like, you're crazy, go home.
Yeah, I know what you're going to say though, that what he said was so wild.
So because I feel like there's a happy medium here. I feel like doctors usually are like, you're fine, drink some water, go home. And doctors, typically my experience with the doctors that I've had, the majority of the doctors I've had are very much disregarding of what I'm going through. Like they're very much like dismissive of like, you're not sick, like you're fine. Like,
would you say like in an optimistic way? Like, are they doing that so that you're not?
No, I think they're concerned? Like dealing with actual hard things. And they're like, I don't want to talk to this girl with a cold. Like,
right. Yeah.
You've got a sore throat, go home. Like, the person in the next room has to have their arm amputated, leave me alone.
Gotcha.
They've got bigger fish to fry. So anyway, I feel like that's normally my feelings are very dismissed with the doctor, but this guy was like other end of the spectrum, like so great. So at the time it wasn't funny, but now looking back it is. So we get there and this doctor listens to Wesley's lungs and is like really somber and looks at me and he's like, I'm so sorry. You're going to have to take him in. Like it was like really intense. And I was like, what? He's like, you guys need to go to the ER. Like you need to go right now to the ER. I don't like what I'm hearing. And then he looks at Wesley and he says, sorry, buddy. You're going to have to sit in a room with a lot of really sick people.
It's going to be miserable. It's going to be crowded. It's going to take a long time.
He looks at, and then he looks at me and he goes, you're going to be there a really long time.
But we got to check you out. But he's saying this, obviously our baby does not speak. This is English at this point.
We're not being dramatic. Is that not word for word what he said?
Yeah.
It is word for word what he said
verbatim,
to us.
Verbatim, would you say?
Verbatim to me and Wesley. Like, and we were like, whoa, okay, we're going to have to go to the ER. And in my head, I wasn't panicked at the time. I was like, yeah, he's wheezing. He needs to be seen by like,
I just thought they would be like, yeah, it's this, don't worry about it, it's fine. Or this, like, here's like this antibiotic, or here's this.
I thought they give
this
him
like cough medicine that's safe for babies that like doesn't exist. It
doesn't exist.
Like, or, over the counter or whatever. And yeah, that was very...
So that was weird.
So then it was like, oh, now we got to go there. Okay, now we got to take Maisie, and so we got to watch Maisie. We got to take Wesley. Like we both got to go because we're both like now really nervous. Can I say the part about then he follows us into the parking lot?
Not yet. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. Because yes, you can tell that, but that's not yet. So I was like, I wasn't alarmed yet. I was just kind of like, okay, like, yeah, let's go get him checked out, make sure everything's okay. Like we're obviously no stranger to the hospital.
Yeah, let's take our baby to the emergency room. Sure. Well, as recommended by a doctor saying you need to go to the emergency room now. Yeah, of course.
So I was just like,
it was concerning.
Yeah, but it wasn't quite concerning yet. It was just like, okay, we got to do this for our kiddo. Like obviously let's go do it. But then I think it was like he could tell that we weren't panicked enough. And he was like, well, I need them to panic. Like, what's going on? So he looked at me and he goes, I think it's RSV. Yeah. And the RSV virus, is really dangerous to babies. Like my babies are a little bit older than when it's like super dangerous, but like it still is a very, very dangerous virus. Like you do not want your kids getting that. Like from what I've heard, I am not a doctor, but from what I've heard and what I've read, like that is a thing. And when my kids have been sick in the past and I've gotten them tested for COVID from our pediatrician, the nurses and pediatrician always are like, we're going to test for COVID. We're also going to test for RSV, but it's not that. It's not that. Don't worry. Don't freak out. We're just testing for it because we just want to be safe. You know, like they always like very much are like, know that could freak out a mom. So they like always were like, it's not going to be that. Don't worry. Don't worry. But this doctor like straight up looked me in the eyes and was like, I think it's RSV. And I was like, oh my God. Like, so then I start to panic because I was like, I've heard this is a really bad thing for babies to get. So like, then I start going like, oh no, like I need to look more into this RSV thing. I've heard it's really bad and scary, but like now I'm like, oh no, I don't know. But I'm still trying to stay calm because I have 2 babies that I'm like holding and I need to keep a calm energy for them because they're sick. So I was like, okay. He kept saying stuff that was like very alarming and intense. And he just looked like he was giving us the worst news in the world.
Yeah.
So, and he kept saying, I can't even remember it all, but it was like a very intense like experience. I was like, this guy is like making me really start to panic about this common cold that our children have. But okay. So then we leave urgent care to take, he even goes like, I need to let you guys go right now. I'm going to drop the paperwork, but like write up the paperwork, but like don't stay. You need to get him to the ER right now.
Oh, I forgot about that. He was like, normally like I have to like do this paperwork and you have to sign it, but I'm just going to say that you signed it. Just, you need to go to the ER right now.
And I was like,
we're each holding a baby because there's 2 of them and we're halfway across the parking lot to the car and he follows us. Then he follows us into the parking lot.
Takes off his mask
and says, guys, I just want you to know, you're handling this really well.
This news
really well. Like you're doing a good job. Like you'll get through this. And I was like, that's when I was like,
I know. I was like, what? So then I take off we're like very like 20 feet from him. I took off my mask so he could see my face. I was like, because it just seemed like a very serious thing you see. And I was like, yeah, I guess I feel like I'm probably going to start crying when I get in the car. Like, he's like, yeah, I am shocked at how well you guys are handling this news. Like, this is scary, scary stuff. Really scary stuff. Do you remember he said that?
Yeah.
And I was like, what? He just chased us.
And it's going to be awful. And he's like, and it's going to be awful there. It's going to be awful at the downtown hospital. And I was like, whoa. I was like,
what? So we get in the car and then I started crying. I got in the car and I would just start crying. I was like, oh my God, this is going to be so bad. Like
sobbing.
But when
and then some woman was like, are you leaving?
No. But when he first told us we were going to the ER, I felt like fine. I felt like a strong, confident mom. Like, yep, let's go figure this out and get this baby like taken care of. Like make sure everything's okay.
Right.
But like as time went on, he was like really just like, so now looking back, I'm like, what was he doing? Because by the way, just so y'all know, we went to the hospital and they sent us home. The doctor, the pediatrician and all the nurses and doctors at the hospital were like, he's got a cold.
We only had to sit there for like 6 hours for them to tell us he has a cold.
Well, not with Wesley. Wesley, it wasn't that bad. Wesley, we got there, waited an hour, and then we were there for 2 hours. It was like 3 hours total with Wesley at the hospital.
I think it was a little bit more than that by a couple hours, but
it wasn't.
I think so.
I promise. Because the next day was.
Fight you about it.
I know you love exaggerating time, but I promise
Let me exaggerate the time. They don't know.
Well, I know.
It sounds like cooler if we were there for 8 hours.
Oh my gosh, it does not
sound
cooler.
9 hours later we go home.
No, okay. So we basically, Wesley was having a little bit of wheezing issue. He was having a hard time breathing because there was so much gunk in his air passageways. And they explained it all to us. And the doctor was like, you guys, I promise you, it's fine. It's a cold. Babies get colds. He's fine. I promise. And I was like, they sent us here telling us it was urgent, like that.
Yeah, and he literally was like, I'm not going to give you anything.
He's fine. Like, go home. He's fine.
Uh-huh.
So, everything's fine. And in hindsight, now I'm like, what was that doctor doing? Like, I think he was just wanting to be as cautious as possible. But like the way he's telling us news was so intense and so nuts. But the next day, we ended up taking Maisie because she was having.
Then we were there for 8 hours.
And then we actually were there for 8 hours. We were there for a very long time with Maisie, but she's okay. Everything's okay now. But she did need a little bit of like oxygen and some more help.
Yeah, so we're tired.
So yeah, and then Maisie we were at the hospital all day with Maisie, and she's totally fine. Everything's good. We're making sure to keep a really close eye on all the kiddos. Everything's fine. It's just a cold. And they really are on the other side of it now. But then Maisie's ear seemed like it was bugging her. And I was like, this little cutie pie is getting an ear infection. That's very common with little babies when they get colds.
Nah, so she's fine.
Oh my gosh, that drove me bananas. So when we were at the hospital.
You know when kids have ear infections somehow. You have like a spidey.
Moms know when their kids get an ear infection.
Spidey ear infection.
But I've always predicted, like, when our kids get ear infections, I know. And I always tell doctors, and they're like, no, they don't. And then the next day, they're like, oh, yeah, they do. Here's medicine. But anyway, so Maisie, I could tell she was getting an ear infection. I asked them to check, and they looked, and they're like, there's nothing there. And I was like, I know she has an ear infection. Well, the next day, she had an ear infection. So I had to go back to urgent care. So we've just been at the doctors, urgent cares, hospitals all week with our sweet little precious sad little babies.
It's a holiday weekend. What else would you do?
But also because of that, when they don't feel good, they don't want to sleep. They're sad. And Maisie and Wesley are both sick and both have decided that the only way they want to sleep is if I'm holding them standing up and walking.
Yeah.
So Erik and I have had to like stand and walk around the bedroom holding them upright in order for them to sleep. And that's the only way they would sleep for a couple nights. So that meant no sleeping for us. And also I got sick. So then anyway, that's why we're tired and yawning. But
it's like as a parent, like the first time having, now having 3 kids and having all 3 of them be sick. Oh,
they've been all sick before, but not like this. This was a really rough one.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
It was a rough week, but it's all good. It was just a cold. Thank goodness. I'm so grateful they're all okay and that we got the help that we needed and that there were doctors available to help us.
And apparently we were handling it really well.
Apparently.
Everyone kept telling us that.
As I sob in the car.
Right.
But yeah, I was like, I have to tell this story of this doctor because I wanted to know if anyone else out there has experienced a doctor like that just like tells you the most intense version of the news that they can. Just like freak you out.
He was actually really nice and sweet.
He was so nice.
He was trying to do like take the best care of like our kids as he could and trying to like send us to the right place for what he thought that they needed.
Totally.
And was like so sweet about it, but just like his body language and what he was saying. It was just
eye contact and how serious and somber he got.
I'm sure everyone has that friend that just like every time they have a conversation is like so intense and looks at them like a little bit too, you know what I mean?
I was like, what are they going to tell us at the hospital? I was like, I thought the doctor was going to look at Wesley and give us like horrendous news.
I see my conscious brain did not let me go there.
Well, that's how
I was just like, what's wrong with that guy that he's so,
God,
you know what I mean? Like
so
my brain
intense.
literally wouldn't let me.
Yeah, it was funny. Like when the doctor at the hospital was like, he's fine. He's just got a cold and like left. The first doctor freaked me out so much that when the doctor that at the hospital was like, oh, he's fine. He's got a cold. Go home. He was like, I kept asking questions. I was like, well, other doctor, blah, blah, blah. And then he left, the doctor left the room and to Erik and I was like, well, I don't know because he's wheezing and the other doctor said this and this. And Erik's like, Colleen, this is a good thing. Why do you want it to like, you remember you were like, this is a good thing. It's a good thing. It's just a cold. We can go. Yeah. But I was like, the other doctor had made me firmly believe that something really terrible was wrong.
Now I get why you weren't like.
But I was like, no, because I was like, wait, we can't get sent home. Something terrible is wrong. We have to be at the hospital.
I was like, we should be celebrating. This is great.
I was like, no, we need to be at the hospital. That doctor said we have to be here. Like we have to figure out what's wrong. And Erik's like, we do know what's wrong. He has a cold. He's sick. He has to go home. And I was like, no, there's something wrong.
The doctor at the hospital, the ER doctor, was the complete opposite. He was like, you got a sick kid. Get out of here.
He had a sick kid. He's sick.
Get out of here.
Kids get sick.
It's like good looking kid. Just sick. All right. See you later.
Yeah, he was like so done.
But, yeah.
It was funny. Anyway, I want to say thanks to our next sponsor. It's BetterHelp. Speaking of getting help from a great doctor.
Better than worse help.
BetterHelp. How
about BetterHelp?
Is here to help you out. So now a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. Guys, have you ever
BetterHelp guys? Or is it just BetterHelp?
It's BetterHelp.
Oh, the way you said guys made it sound like it was
talking to the people listening.
Oh, okay.
So you guys, the people listening, have you ever been in a situation where like you're having a problem in life and you just get so overwhelmed and focused on the issue that you're not focused enough on a solution? You just like dwell on the problem. I do this all the time. I'll spin myself into a tizzy stressing about an issue.
Yeah, as much as I tell myself like you are not your thoughts aren't real. They keep going.
It's
They're
sometimes hard to think of
convincing.
solutions.
Yeah.
Yes. So solutions might help you out if you have a different mindset, if you have some help, like better help. It can be tough to train your brain to stay in problem-solving mode when you're faced with a challenge. But when you learn how to find your own solutions, there's no better feeling. A therapist can help you become a better problem solver, making it easier to accomplish your goals, no matter how big or small. You guys know that we are big advocates for therapy here, mental health. I think it is so important and so wonderful when you find a great therapist and someone who can help you out with issues that are going on inside your noggin. You guys, I've not been shy about sharing my experiences with postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety, and all of the fun things that I get to experience inside of my brain. And therapy has helped me so much through a lot of my issues. So I was very nervous to start therapy when I started. I didn't think I would like it, and I ended up loving it. So I know that some people might have a negative idea of what therapy could be, but like therapy can be really, really wonderful and super beneficial.
Yes.
It has helped me through so many issues, and I am so grateful for it. And I think if any of you might feel stressed or anxious or depressed or any of these things in your life, therapy could be something that could really help you out. So if you're thinking of giving therapy a try, BetterHelp is a great option. It's convenient, accessible, affordable, and entirely online. Get matched with a therapist after filling out a brief survey and switch therapists anytime you want. What do you think about therapy, love?
I think it's great. Especially like online. Like I'm into that.
Yeah.
Like or you can find someone online and Zoom, Skype, even over the phone. I feel like it's even helped like maybe even more so for me. I like to do it over
phone sessions. They're all wonderful.
Yeah.
When you want to be a better problem solver, therapy can get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/relaxwithme today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/relaxwithme.
Yeah, not BetterHelp guys.
No.
Just BetterHelp. Colleen Bellinger.
Erik
I
Stockland.
had a question for you, Lovey.
Yes, he?
I had a question for you.
What?
We've stayed in places before, hotels, Airbnbs. And I've always noticed these signs. And I took a picture of one a while back, and now I've just been thinking about it a lot.
Okay.
It said, attention, please do not flush feminine products, baby wipes, or anything other than toilet paper. You will be held responsible for any damages. Thank you very much for your understanding.
Are you saying this because I'm on a period right now?
Yes. And also, like, thank you for your understanding. And I don't understand. I don't.
What do you not understand?
Well, I think I'm just someone who's only ever flushed toilet paper down a toilet.
The sign that you read said no toilet paper?
No, it said anything other than.
Oh.
Of course. What's happening?
Well, I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
Is there a glitch in the Matrix?
Yes. Probably. Glitch in my brain.
I mean, I'm trying to think of other things that I may or may not have flushed down the toilet. And I think it's mostly just been toilet paper.
And poo.
Right. We're not supposed to talk about that on the podcast anymore.
Spiders.
A couple spiders have been sent to the ocean. But mostly it's just toilet paper. Certainly not. I'm not throwing any feminine products down there.
No.
No, they didn't say feminine product. They said products.
Yes.
What's going on here? What are you guys doing to...
Okay. This is actually something that has been very surprising to me.
Okay.
Because my whole life, I was under the assumption that we flushed tampons. That's what I was taught.
You did not have this sign in your house growing up?
No.
Oh.
So my whole life, it was like, if you use pads, you got to throw them away.
You're flushing pads?
No, you don't flush pads. Certainly don't flush pads. That would clog
Would
the toilet.
Would that not be a feminine product?
That's a feminine product, but if you flush a pad, it's clogging the toilet instantly.
I don't know.
Tampons, though, I was always under the impression, and I was always taught and told that you can flush tampons. But like in recent years, people have been like, no, you definitely cannot do that. And when I've seen signs like that, I've always been like, oh, well, it's weak plumbing at this location I'm at right now. Like,
you're just not supposed to do it anywhere.
I think not.
Yeah. Well, right. I don't know.
But like
environmentally or for the plumbing's sake? For the plumbing's sake, right?
Both. I think they're also like not.
But they're more concerned about their specific.
Well, in those instances, yeah, they're concerned about the plumbing. But I know that in general, like tampons are not good for the environment and pads are not good for the environment. But like, yeah, this is shocking news to me because I'm like, one of the biggest perks of a tampon is you can flush it. But maybe you're not supposed to.
And in public bathrooms, like women's stalls, do they have like little metal boxes? Mm-hmm. What are you supposed to put in there? Feminine products?
Yeah.
Well, like what?
Well, pads.
Used pads? Also,
yes, used pads.
Are those little boxes?
Not new ones.
Are they like lined, those little boxes?
They have like a toilet paper, or I mean like a little tiny trash bag in it. Usually, sometimes a paper bag.
What?
Yeah, sometimes like paper bag.
You're acting shocked as much as I don't know. But like I remember you showed me some like TikTok challenge like a long time ago. Mm-hmm. Where like it had something to do with a pad, God. And I had no idea that they like taped to underwear. Like blew my mind, or something like that.
We'll get into that. But in these little trash bags, the trash bag boxes for feminine
sometimes
products,
a paper bag.
But like the tampon applicator. Because like you put a tampon in, but there's like the applicator. You have to throw that away.
Right. And not flush that. You're not going to flush the applicator. Right.
It's plastic.
So you put that in the little box.
Yeah. But I've always thought that the actual tampon itself, like it's like cotton in a string. I thought that could go down the toilet, but I guess this is... did you want to just be talking about dirty tampons? Is that what this...
Not specifically. No, I was just... I guess my question was like... Which maybe I already knew the answer to, is like, do you adhere to these rules, regulations?
I'm going to get hate for this.
I'm not going to say they're laws.
My whole life, I didn't know that this was a thing. And so this is something that I still struggle with. You know, like I do, when I see the signs, I do try to follow the rules. Right. But sometimes I don't. Sometimes I accidentally, like, when you've been doing this every month for your whole life and you have tampons and you just like, tampon goes out and goes in the toilet. Like it's hard sometimes to stop yourself in that natural motion of doing that and going like, oh wait, this isn't supposed to go in the toilet.
Yeah, if someone were to tell me like,
so tell me, someone
were to tell me like you can't flush toilet paper down the toilet anymore, I'd be like, what am I supposed to do with it?
Well, and even knowing that consciously, there's going to be times where you wipe and then drop it in. You're like, oh crap! Like now, I did not? Right. No pun intended.
So are you worried that like the toilet's going to explode when you do this, or you don't? It's not even a thought.
No, of course. I'm like, oh no, is it going to get clogged? Like, but then sometimes I think about like some of the poops. Like, I'm sorry, we're not supposed to be talking about poop on here much anymore. Talk about it, yeah. But like, that's a billion times bigger than tampons.
Well, I'm not gonna get. Let's not get specific. Have you even ever put a tampon in the trash?
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. Yeah. Very often. Uh-huh. Yes.
Oh, right. I've seen those.
But it's like a thing because you have to like wrap it and like you don't want it to just be like an exposed tampon in trash, you know. And I'm like,
how is this conversation going? Is this?
I don't know, but listen, I have this. Maybe it's about to get bad, and we'll change it.
I don't want to say it's a gross conversation because
it's not
like,
gross.
Yeah.
But yeah, but this might be gross to you. So I am very scarred by like throwing feminine products in trash cans because back in the day when I used to wear pads, you have to wrap it up and like put it in the trash. Like, and my family dog was obsessed with used pads. So like our family dog would dig in the trash for my used pads and then would rip them up. And so I'd come home from school.
I love how I checked in and was like, is this conversation too much? Like, should we not be doing this? Is this too uncomfortable? And you're like, well, let me double down.
No, stop. So I'd come home from school with friends and my mom would be like, the dog ripped up a tampon again. It was like, or a pad again. And it'd be like the backyard be covered in my period tampon pads that had been ripped up and eaten by the dog. And I'd have to clean this in front of friends. Like, so I'm very scarred by like putting feminine products in the trash.
Like a rake? What are we cleaning this with?
You use like a napkin and you like pick it. It was just like, it was so embarrassing.
Because I had imagined you just raking shreds.
No. I actually have a huge phobia about rakes. Do you know this about me? My least favorite sound.
This is why I brought it up, because I knew we'd get in deep. We get to somewhere deep within your psyche, and we bring up your insane
my rake phobia
of rakes.
So
that's why I love this podcast.
One of my least favorite sounds in the world is rakes on concrete or cement. Yeah, like rakes are meant for grass,
right?
And nothing else. You cannot change my mind. Nothing else. The sound of rake.
No, I don't think there's like a big like rake on concrete contingent.
Yes, there So many people do
No
yes.
way.
So many people do this.
Broom. Sweep broom.
Oh my God.
One of those big sweeper brooms.
Yes. I'm so glad that I married you and that you have the best brain in the world. So many people do this. It is the worst sound to me, a billion times worse than nails on a chalkboard. Worse than any sound you can imagine.
And this led to a phobia, or you just dislike the sound? Yeah.
That sound, it makes my whole body shiver. Like the sound of a rake on like cement, on concrete, on sidewalk. Like, get out of here. You are satanic. I think that is evil to do that. And so many people do it instead of using a broom. Drives me freaking bananas. I hate that sound so much. So even just the thought.
If I'm feeling like driving you crazy, I just have to go rake the driveway.
I won't talk to you ever again. So, but truly, like when you just said, like, what would you do? Use a rake? Like, that's all I could think about. It's like how that's the worst. That's the last thing I would do. I'd rather pick it up with my teeth than use a rake.
Yeah. Cause I wondered, cause there's been I'm not even gonna say a few. There's been like a bunch of times I've gone to use the bathroom and then like, surprise, that's just there. And I'm like, oh, is it, she's leaving it up to me. Am I gonna have to be the one to ignore this rule and regulation as to not flush this feminine product?
You never dug one out of the toilet, have you?
Whoa. I almost just threw the microphone across the room. No, but then I'm caught in this moral dilemma to whereas like, first of all, I'm having to, this is going, whatever, I'm all in. I'm having to pee on that. I'm peeing on that.
You don't flush first?
No, because I'm morally like wrestling with the decision to flush a feminine product. 'Cause I've never had that responsibility put on my shoulders. And now here it is. And I'm peeing, and then it's got to go, right?
It's got to go.
So I'm like, is she just walking away from that because she doesn't want the guilt?
All, Erik keeps saying that like, I will not flush these sometimes. And like, I feel like I always flush them. So they must just come back up. Maybe it's the toilet being like, you're not supposed to flush this.
I don't think, but see, they're like sitting in a nest of toilet paper. So I don't think they like a curated nest of toilet paper. And then that on top of it, like surface level. Like it's not even like deep in there. It's not like horseshoed in there. Like it went halfway down and then came back up. Like it's just, it's presented.
That's no good.
There is presentation involved.
Well, what I was going to say earlier is that Erik didn't know until like a year ago what a pad was. Like I saw a trend on TikTok where people were like, I asked my boyfriend, I asked my husband how to use a pad and he didn't know. And I was like, oh, this is so funny. I'm sure Erik will know. I really thought you would have known.
No idea.
And I asked him how it worked and he thought you stuck the pad on your body.
Well, yeah, that's where it's collecting material.
And I was like, well, then how would I pee? And he was like, you take it off to pee. Like he thought the pad went on a human body and then you peeled it off to go pee and put on a new one. And this is what he thought up until his very adult age, until like a year ago.
So you just don't put on a new one?
When I pee? Right. You know how they work now, right? Where do they go? Where does the pad go?
It's kind of sounding like I don't know how anything works down there.
I know, but where does the pad go?
It sticks to your underwear.
Yes. So why would I need to change it if I go pee? I'm not peeing in the pad.
Well, what is it? What is it doing there? It's like, because it's catching
it's collecting your period.
Like leakage, right? So then, are you how far we're going? This is like
I don't know, but Wesley's interrupting. Really Wesley's waking up and he's saying.
So when you pull it down, because you got to go pee, and there's like a collection. Are you then peeing and then pulling back up and like with collection?
Okay, so this is what's really cool about pads.
Depends on what?
This is what's really cool about pads and about feminine products is that we have wonderful scientists who've created things that make it, it's not like you don't feel it. They collect it so well that like if it's not too much, like they collect it in a way that like you don't feel it. It's like it's not even there. You can see it, but it's like sunken into the science of it.
It's like a dirty diaper, but you're like, it's not that dirty.
It's not like a dirty diaper.
Pull it back up.
It's not like a dirty diaper.
No, I don't understand.
I'll show you what a pad does. I'll have to show you.
It's
I'll
okay.
have to get a pad and show you.
That's all right.
But it's not like a dirty diaper. It's not like it's not like if you were changing the baby's diaper and you saw there's pee in it and you put the pee diaper back on them. It's not like that.
Okay.
It's like you don't feel the wetness of it. You wouldn't pull your underwear back up with a pad on it it was still, yeah.
Enough said.
Wesley's waking up. We gotta go. Make sure Wesley's okay. HelloFresh is our final sponsor of this episode. We love HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. Hey guys, do you have a packed schedule this fall? HelloFresh has meals covered with a weekly selection of 30+ recipes and 70+ convenience items, all delivered right to your door. Now more than ever, we're all looking for ways to save some moolah, some money. In fact, HelloFresh is 25% less expensive than takeout and is even cheaper than grocery shopping too. That's how we feel whenever we use HelloFresh. We feel like we're saving money. We feel like it's so much cheaper. Every time we order anything, I feel like there's so many hidden freaking fees. It's so annoying. Grocery shopping, I always feel like I buy way more than I need, but HelloFresh gives you the exact ingredients that you need, exactly the amount that is perfect for your meal. It is wonderful. And HelloFresh isn't just for dinners. Shop HelloFresh Market for quick breakfasts, wholesome snacks, and even desserts. You'll find everything you need to satisfy your cravings without stepping foot in a grocery store or a mini mart. So we love HelloFresh. It has been so much fun. It saves us so much time. It's like a fun little date night. There's so many yummy recipes. One of my favorites is Erik made me this yummy, it was like a shrimp scampi, like a rice. It was so freaking delish. Oh, and there's a garlic bread too. There's so many yummy recipes, and I love HelloFresh because Erik lately, he's the one who cooked the HelloFresh. We used to do it together as like a fun date night, which is super fun. But Erik's the one who's been cooking them lately, and it's almost like he's like doing like a romantic like date for me, like a sweet little, if I'm having a really hard long day and I don't have time to make dinner, he'll do it with HelloFresh, and it's just ready for me, and it's so quick and easy with all of our kids around. It's just easy and fast and wonderful. So go to HelloFresh.com/relax16 and use code relax16 for 16 free meals across 7 boxes and 3 free gifts. That's HelloFresh.com/relax16 and use code relax16 for 16 free meals across 7 boxes and 3 free gifts. Go check out America's #1 meal kit today.
Okay, we're back.
We're back.
We have things to say, but we don't know anything about anything, so we want to talk to you.
So we're hoping someone gives us a call, and it looks like our phone. We just turned our relax phone.
So we've turned on our relax phone. Well, we've never even said the number for this phone on this podcast.
We haven't?
No.
I don't know it.
I don't know it.
We've tweeted it before, haven't we?
We've tweeted it, but we've never said it.
Here, let's answer the phone, love.
Well, I want to say the phone number. I guess we've only tweeted it, but a lot of people that listen to this maybe aren't on Twitter. Mm-hmm. And maybe it's not fair to them to have only be tweeting it. And also, like, if you're not on Twitter, I say good for you, because there's a lot going on there. It's not too fun. So the number is 747-327-8162. That's 747-327-8162. For now, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe
it's pretty stressful, so maybe not forever.
Let's answer the phone.
Taylor really wants to talk to us. Hey, Taylor.
Hi, Erik. Oh my God.
How's it going?
Hi, Taylor.
Hi, Colleen.
Hi, you're so cute. How are you?
I'm sorry. Hang on. I'm so good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for calling us.
Oh my God. Hi, guys.
Hi.
All right. We have some questions for you, Taylor.
Okay. I'm ready.
Okay. First of all, who needs to relax for you this week?
Good question.
You know what? I have one prepared.
Oh, yes.
Do you know what needs to relax this week? My freaking ear.
Why? Do you have an ear infection?
I have an ear infection.
Oh
and
my God.
I feel like you manifested this for me.
I'm sorry.
Because you had yours. And I was like, adults don't get ear infections. And then I got one.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Well,
you know
what? If it makes you feel any better, Taylor, and I hope this doesn't make you feel better, but oh my gosh, speaking of, Maisie is waking up right now. Eric's going to go deal with Maisie.
God, Okay.
Because I'll stay here. I'm going to chat with you for a second. The reason
okay. My cat's name is Maisie, and she's on my lap right now.
Oh my God, so many similarities. Well,
she's
Maisie,
meowing. I don't know if you can hear her.
I can't, but I'm sure it's so cute. Maisie's waking up right now because she has an ear infection.
Oh,
so
no.
Maisie has got a cold. Maisie and Wes have a cold, and Maisie got an ear infection today. So you guys are twins.
All the gals.
We're
just getting sick around here. And Wesley. Sorry, Wesley.
You have to get some antibiotics for that.
I know, because I've tried home remedies like 3 times this weekend, and it made it worse.
No, you gotta go get some antibiotics. I'm so sorry. That's the worst.
Oh my God, first of all, I cannot believe I'm talking to you right now. Oh my God.
I'm so excited to chat with you. Okay, so I do have a question.
Okay.
So Eric's gonna be sad he's not here, but he needs to help Maisie out a little bit because she's a little sad.
That's
so the
totally
question,
okay.
His relax today, he wanted me to ask you. He wants to know if you're in a parking lot and you're looking for a spot and you see someone walking to their car, do you say to them, "Hey, are you leaving? Are you leaving?" Like, do you ask that, and do you like stalk them to get their parking spot?
It's okay. It's okay if you do.
Hi, Eric.
Hi.
I do that. It depends on my mood, but if I've been circling for a while, I will and I see someone coming close to my car as I'm like in the lane, I will be like, "Hey, are you leaving?"
I just think you're
that might be an East Coast thing.
Yeah, you're a people person. You're brave. Like that's fair. Would you do it to people with children, like someone with a stroller with 2 babies in it, with another kid holding their hand? Would you do that to them?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No, they've got things to do. Like, I don't need to rush them.
Yeah.
Well, it's just so stressful when people do that with us because we have all of our, because then we feel bad because it takes like 10 minutes to load all our stuff in the car. But Eric was talking about that as his relax today. And
I'm also a nanny, so like I get it. Like wrangling kids is rough.
Are you looking for a job?
I like Taylor.
Yes. In an instant.
So
I will watch your children any day.
Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. I'm
Taylor, when you're traveling, duffel bag or rolling carry-on?
Ooh. Rolling carry-on.
Thank you. Yeah. Did you know this your whole life, or did you just figure this out?
No, my whole life. I only say that because I have a slight disability, and so it's just easier for me.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's easier, I think, in any circumstance, but certainly if you have a disability too. Eric just discovered that rolly suitcases are the way to go. So
the 4-wheel ones, the ones that you can swivel on
big time.
Anyway.
I'm so into like the swivel. I'm giddy over it. Yeah.
Oh, I heard Maisie cry.
She's very excited.
Both Maisies are crying during this.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's so good to chat with you. Thanks for calling.
I know. Oh, thank you guys for answering. Oh my God, I adore you guys so much.
Oh, we adore you too. You're lovely.
Can't wait to hear my sick voice on your podcast.
You sound perfect.
Yeah, you sound great.
You sound amazing. We're sick together, girl. I've got it too. It's going around.
Thanks for calling, Taylor.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye, Taylor.
Bye.
She was so nice.
Yeah.
It always makes me so happy when we get to talk to people on here.
Yeah. No, I see. I get it. Why you would ask, and like circumstances, why you would ask if like you're leaving. Like, to each his own. I guess I just had a couple of bad experiences. Yeah, a couple of bad moments with it. It fired me up.
It's fine.
I get passionate sometimes.
I understand. Well, our babies are rustling, so we should probably go.
I know. I'd like to talk to more people, but
I do too. But I think we need
maybe
to
next time. You have that non-Twitter users. Good for you.
Now they all have the phone number. Everyone.
I'm into that. I'm not looking at that thing. So now you have the phone number too.
Alrighty. We love you guys. Thanks for listening. I'm going to go cuddle some babies.
Okay. I'm down.
Good night, everybody. You can relax. Colleen and Erik have a podcast. The world is scary and we're locked in our home. But now we have big microphones. So you can relax. That's the name of our podcast.